Welcome to the latest midweek car competition judging video here at BOTB. We'll now hand over to the lawyer from Onside Law who'll oversee the proceedings.
My name is Alex Brooks from Onside Law and I'll be overseeing the judging this morning. Firstly, I can confirm that the competition data has already been sent to the auditing company as is. I would now like today's judges to introduce themselves and, using the secure link provided, mark on screen where they think the centre of the ball should be. The group will then come to a final panel decision.
Good morning, my name is Matt Cannon. I'm the senior county referee and footballer and next game Saturday.
Good morning, my name is Peter Giorgio and I'm a futsal and football referee.
Hi, my name is Aaron Mendonca. I've been involved with football for over 30 years, first as a player and then as a referee.
Hi, I'm Jenna Scalacci, retired professional footballer. I'm now a head coach in a Tottenham College programme.
Good morning, my name's Hugh Gilroy. I'm a referee, a mentor, tutor and observer.
Good morning, my name is Leo Donnellan. I'm an ex-professional football player, having been with Chelsea, Fulham and Leyton Orient.
Good morning, my name is Roger Wheeler. I'm a referee and I've been refereeing and lining for more than 30 years.
My name's Liam Walsh. I'm a retired referee. I'm currently an FA observer and head coach for the Middlesex Referees Academy.
Hi, my name's Matthew Ray. I've affiliated in multiple counties across England and have refereed from grassroots through to professional academies.
My name is Chloe Morgan and I'm goalkeeper for Crystal Palace Women.
Judges, please now come to a final panel decision. For your reference, the larger white cross is the calculated average of the 10 individual selections.
Thank you, Alex. Good morning, everybody. Firstly, I'm going to draw some lines up. We've got quite a big spread. Not through Chloe. And I'll take it from this guy's eye here, although we can't see it. So, Chloe, if I can come to you first, before you justify your position, could you just sort of explain what we're all seeing in the shot and go from there? Thank you.
Yeah, morning. So you can see two players. They seem to be sort of vying for a ball that's dropping down. It seems to be quite an evenly matched photo. We've got one clear eye coming from the orange player and one clear eye coming from the yellow player. From my perspective, it looked like the picture was very evenly matched and that the players were sort of maybe vying up for a header or to try and win the header. I didn't get the impression that they were at the height of their jumps, and the impressions that I got was that obviously it was going to be quite a competitive ball. Both their mouths are quite taut and their expression suggests that they both feel quite evenly matched about the situation. I think from the red player, I took quite a steeper a line potentially than some of the other judges, just in terms of his head position. It looked to me to be almost sort of off vertical, and then sort of getting some context from the yellow player. Again, you couldn't really see the second eye, but from what I could see from the eye that we do have, it was quite difficult to kind of distinguish the pupil. So again, I took quite a lot of context from the angle of his head, which brought me sort of directly across at about a 45-degree angle.
Yeah, great. Thank you. And I'll come to you next, Peter. You're just next to Chloe's, just there on the left side. You're the dark green cross. There you are, highlighted, magnified. Do you agree?
Yes, I agree. Both players challenging equally in their expressions on their faces and their body language, height. It all looks conducive with the ball being in between the two players. I veered over to the left-hand side as we look at the picture, just due to the eye line as I saw it. in regards to, and also the angle of the heads, and especially the player in what I thought in yellow. I saw more white on his, as we look at the picture, on the right hand side. Therefore, I've then placed the section of the ball closer to the player in orange.
Yeah, great, thank you. And Hugh, you're the top and the top choice of all of us. Yeah, you are in orange. How did you come to your position?
That's right. For me, I felt the player in yellow's head was back. His neck looks like it's back to me. I agree. I think it's tough to see with the pupil, but I felt he was looking up, and I still think they both have distance to go to meet the ball. And for me, the orange player, again, his head is back and was looking up quite steeply for me. So I still felt there was a bit of height to the ball. Yeah,
great. Thank you. And Jenny, you're the dark blue cross. You're slightly more in the middle of the choices of all the judges. What was your view?
Yeah, I agree with what's been said in the sense that both players still got a way to go before they make connection with the ball. I used the player in yellow. I didn't see much white either side of his eye when I was looking at it. So I felt he was more, although his head's tilted, I felt he was more looking out in front rather than so steeply. And then if you look at the guy in orange, his head is tilted back, but again, there's a lot of white. So for me, I felt he was looking more so across and out in front of him as well. And that's where I've come with my arrow there.
Yeah, thank you. I mean, I tend to agree with you. I mean, I've gone for the choice here, my red cross, just below yours, Jenna. And I was of the same view that it was more of a flatter view than certainly Chloe and Peter's. But that's why we've got a beauty of a panel, because we've got quite a big spread. And Leo, you're just ever so slightly to the right, but in a sort of a line up from most of us from this yellow player. What was your view?
Yeah, hi, Matt. I actually think the player in yellow, for me, I think he's going to head the ball. I think both of his arms are out in front of him, which sort of signals he's getting ready to head the ball. I think his head is outstretched, and I think he's focused with his eyes to head the ball. I think the player in orange, I think he might have been nudged out of the way. He looks a bit off balance to me. And I just feel with his eye line, he's looking a bit more inward as he is off balance. So yeah, I kind of cross-referenced their eye lines, but for me, Matt, I think the player in yellow is going to head the ball.
Yeah, thank you. And just to your left is Matthews. There you are. You're the lime green cross. What was your view?
Yeah, I'd agree with Leo. Actually, I think the yellow looks favoured for the ball. But I think because of the distance, head is not absolutely imminent, you'd probably place the ball in between the two. So that's what I've done sort of first of all. And then the only other thing to add is I often look at whether the eyes are pointing the same direction of the head. And for the player in orange, for me, I think they are. Whereas the player in yellow is looking slightly steeper than the angle of his head. So I don't think the player in orange is looking so steeply. But that's why I've placed it where I have done.
Yeah, great, thank you. And Liam, you're the pink cross there, just ever so slightly lower than the rest of us. What was your view?
Yes, thanks, Matt. I felt Leo put some really good points in there that and Matthew, if I'm honest, that the yellow is favourite to head the ball. I think he's going to come in. He's a bigger guy. He's going to power through. His neck and head are ready to go with that. That the guy in orange is again possibly knocked off the ball, but he's stretching. He's leaning back and he's just really looking at the ball. The ball might be dropping into him, and I just felt that the ball is a little bit flatter than some of the other guys on the panel this morning.
Yeah, thank you.
Sweet and simple.
Yeah, and we just have the last two. There's yours there, Roger. You're up in the middle of everything. How did you see it?
Yes, similar to Liam. But I thought the ball was dropping in rather than flatter. But I felt the orange player, maybe his starting position wasn't very good, and he's sort of backing a bit, getting more adjusting his position, and therefore the the guy in the yellow has got a cleaner jump and possibly looks more confident that he might win the ball. But it's a little way to go. We've already discussed the eyes. The eyes are a little bit tricky, but I've taken a sort of strong view from the orange player's good eye, and that's where I've placed my cross.
Great, thank you. And last but not least, Ari, you're just to the left of Roger's own choice. Do you agree with that?
Yes, I do actually. I felt also that the player in orange is backing up over there. Both players they're looking quite intense and with even chances to go for this one. I felt that the player in yellow had a slightly edge. His body shape looks more composed than the player in orange. Both looking intensively to the ball. But yeah, the player in yellow has the arms out already, and I felt that he is the one who's going to win this challenge. When I look at both eye lines, I felt that the center of the ball should be where I place my cross.
Yeah, thank you. Well, thanks everybody. It's a tricky one, as we've said and alluded to. That the eyes, although we can see the pupils, there's been some disparity between whether you can see white on both sides of the eyes, and people have their own views, which I think is why we've got the spread. And we have differing opinions about possible that the player in orange has either misjudged himself or been knocked off the ball. There's a few thinking that the ball is dropping in. Others think it's a bit flatter. Most people seem to see that the yellow player is favourite, but not everybody. Some people think it's an equal challenge, and then again, it's in the middle of them, and it's either or. So yes, we have our calculated average there, and as you see, there's half our choices outside the magnifier. I'm going to come to a panel vote on the first on Hughes. I think Hugh, for my own liking, is one of the ones that's outside. If I remove Hughes, I think it's the line up from the player in yellow. It becomes a little, quite a lot narrower. And obviously we can still see other people outside, but we can discuss that between whether they're balanced off or not. I think with Hughes in, although it keeps it in the mix, Hughes is far enough away and then not touching the magnifier at all. So the first thing I like to do is have a panel vote whether we go forward with removing Hughes' own choice, which brings it down. And the reason I'm not doing it myself and coming to a panel vote is because there are another 4 judges outside the magnifier at this point. If I undo the last 2 lines and redraw them with Hughes removed, I'm hoping that will make my point about it being quite a narrower section up and a little bit smaller quadrant. So, Peter, I'll come to you first. So it's a panel vote whether to move forward, possibly to another vote, but without Hughes being involved.
I'd have Hughes removed.
Yeah, thank you. Ari?
I agree as well with your decision.
Thank you. Jenna?
Yeah, I agree also.
Leo?
Yeah, I agree, Matt. I do think it's just a little bit too high.
Yep. Roger?
Yes, I would agree, Matt.
Thank you. Liam?
Yes, I agree. Sorry, Hugh, it's just a little bit too high for me.
Yep. Matthew?
Yeah, same for me. I'd remove Hugh.
And lastly, Chloe?
Yeah, I agree. I would remove Hugh.
Okay, so at the moment we've got a panel decision to remove Hugh. Sorry, that's my poor diction. And although we are seeing a couple outside, we could then start picking them off. And I do think that the spread is equalised from this. But if I can come through you all again, including Hugh, to see whether you'd like to see anybody else's removed and see how this calculated average is moved, because it does move exponentially quite a lot. But at the moment we've got, if I draw a line up from the player in orange, sort of from the middle of his nose, we've got 4 above and 4 below. And from the player in yellow, we've really got probably three below, 3 above, and then lancing through 5 of us. So I think that trajectory up from the player in yellow is pretty spot on for the last 9 choices. It's just the spread And as I said, we've got players, the choice is both right and left. So unless we start unpicking quite a few people, I think that personally for me would be to judge with this calculated average. But please add to this, and if you want to see other people removed and see how it shifts around, by all means, let me know. So Peter, I'll come to you.
Yeah, I think what you just said there about the average being there, I think that it balances out. You start picking them out, you have to start with one, then the other. Too many will be taken out, so I think it's just a fair average.
Yeah, thank you. Ari?
Well, I feel as well that the eye line of the player in yellow is spot on, and the discrepancy on the player in orange is the average where it is. It works quite well because if we will remove crosses above and below, we would reach the same decision. So I would keep the way it is.
Yeah, thank you. Jenna?
Yeah, I think with the average how it is, it gives us a nice balance.
Great, thank you. And I know we've removed you as a panel, Hugh, but if you could add your opinion, please.
Yeah, I think it makes sense. I think you've got 2 on the left of the average as it is and 2 on the right. So I think although they're just outside it, it balances it nicely.
Great, thank you. Leo?
Yeah, I think the average is in a very good position, Matt.
Yep. Roger?
Yeah, a tricky one, Matt, but I think I agree. It's in a good position. It's very credible, and as we've said, if we could start picking away, but I don't think it's going to move it an enormous amount. So I'm happy.
Yeah, thank you, Liam.
Yes, I know I'm one of the guys on the outside there, Matt, and but for me, if you take, if you take all 4 of us to be transparent and fair. And I think that would water down the decision too much of the panel. So I think by keeping everybody in, it gives it a very good average.
Yeah, great. Thank you. Matthew?
Yeah, as an average, I think we're spot on the view line of the player in yellow. And then I think it's a good balance, to be honest, of everyone for the orange player. So happy with it as it is.
Great. And lastly, Chloe?
No, I agree with all of my colleagues. I think the way it is at the moment is a good balance. And I agree that I think it would sort of water down the opinion if we started to remove the ones on the outer edges. So, yeah, I'm happy with that.
Yeah, and I think it's important to reiterate, because of our differing views on how the ball's dropping in and the reason we've got the spread, I think this calculated average is a very good choice for everybody. Difficult photograph. So, Alex, with the panel removing Q's choice, we're going to judge at this calculated average with the remaining 9 judges.
Okay, thank you very much, all. In that case, please click submit. Thank you very much, judges. The coordinates selected are 1967921. These coordinates will now be passed to the auditing company as it's to calculate the winner of the competition, and they will then inform BOTB. That concludes the judging process. Thank you.